I'm gonna do 3 meals featuring one ingredient that I almost always have on hand, cottage cheese. And I'm gonna start with one of my family's favorite meals. It's pancakes. And I make my pancakes, very simple recipe. We're basically swapping out some of the liquid for the cottage cheese. In my mixing bowl here, I have flour, baking soda, and baking powder. I have a little bit of coconut sugar. You can certainly use white sugar if you want. Some melted butter, vanilla extract, and then the star of the show is going to be our cottage cheese. It's gonna give it a little bit of salt to this recipe as well and a nice texture. Very easy here. I don't wanna over whisk. I do wanna make sure I get all of that egg mixed up in here. If your batter's a little too thick, you can add a little bit of cold water to it. A little bit of buttermilk is gonna be great as well. And we want our batter to sit for a little bit. And it's time now to cook our pancakes. Do they have to be perfect circles? I don't think so. Honestly, it's all about flavor. And it's time for the moment of truth. There's the flip. You can see the air bubbles on the side of the pancake. That's how you know that they're ready to flip. Look how big and fluffy these pancakes are. 2 giant packs of butter, some maple syrup that was warmed up in the microwave. We're making cottage cheese pizza, and we're gonna make our pizza dough featuring cottage cheese and self-rising flour. This is equal parts, so cup for cup. A little pinch of salt in there, because why not? It's gonna add a little bit more flavor to it. There's a little natural salt coming from the cottage cheese. And then just pulsing the dough. We have a loose ball of dough that is formed in our food processor. Take that out and throw it onto my workbench. A little flour even on my hands. And now we start working our dough. And now I'm just gonna sort of work these with my hand. I'm gonna go right over here to the hot griddle. All right, you can just use a cookie tray if you're home, and then I'm gonna dress our pizza very, very simply. Some tomato sauce, some mozzarella, slices of pepperoni, corn, basil, and then we have our barbecue chicken pizza. That's right, it's kind of got this sweet, smoky flavor to it. Shredded chicken that we had left over, some caramelized onions, cheddar cheese, a little oregano here for this pizza, some cilantro for our barbecue pizza. And we're gonna pop this in our oven. We want this to be super hot, so 450, 500 degrees. There it is, that's gonna cook for about 15 minutes. Our time is up, our pizzas are just about done. There we have it, cottage cheese pizzas. For our third dish of the day, we're gonna make cottage cheese gnocchi. So I'm gonna start by making my zucchini pesto sauce. Some garlic in it, some pine nuts, zucchini, and a little bit of jalapeno. If you don't like zucchini, you can replace this with broccoli or kale or something like that. Our Parmesan cheese in here as well. A lot of basil from our garden, a little bit of parsley. I'm also gonna add a good amount of olive oil right here. I'm gonna put a squeeze of lemon juice in it as well. Black pepper and pinch of salt. And now we're gonna give this a whirl. It's gnocchi time. Cottage cheese, AP flour. I'm also going to add some eggs, some Parmesan cheese, a little bit of nutmeg, salt, and pepper. And we are ready to make our dough. And again, just gonna pulse this up. Trying not to overwork it, that's really important. And then just sort of bringing this dough together. You roll cottage cheese gnocchi balls into barrels, making these little grooves in the gnocchi so that the pesto sticks. We'll just plop in our gnocchis, and you can see when they get into the water, right? They sink. And when the gnocchi floats, that's when you know it's done. I will heat up in this pan my pesto sauce. So this pan has some olive oil in it. You want the pasta to come from the water to go into the sauce. Add those right to our zucchini pesto. This is going to be dinner in my house tonight.